All right, so on the left, I think I will have NPCs. And on the right, I will have items. Pick up. So what kind of NPC there is, like a bee, maybe level 1. We can attack. Desktop app. All right, now I think I can see the chat again. HTML5 games. Your favorite? Hi, Thanos Bay. Yeah, I would say it's even simpler. It's an HTML game. Like, it's not gonna be dynamic at all. It's more of a web page that you can use to play a DnD-like game. So this is a very, very early prototype I'm working on. I'm starting with a mock-up, so I don't have any of the functionality. All I have is this map here that I want to make work. Jar of honey. Jar of honey. Pick up. Pick up. Wait, a few questions. Are you using a live server or something currently? Right now, no. This is locally on my machine. I hope I can deploy it in the next few days. I hope I have some barebone functionality ready. But right now, this is literally one file called main.html, and I'm using Bootstrap to develop it. But it's going to be deployed on game.josephurban.com for sure. Also, what is the name of the plugin that lets you see the color of hex? Oh, never mind, that's not Vim, that's Emacs. Yes, this is Emacs. Refreshing the page by yourself. Yes, I'm pressing Control R whenever I go here. You mean this one, right? This is actually it's Emacs with Vim mode, so I'm using a modal editing. I think that's the best of both worlds. I don't want to start a war here. And this is called rainbow mode, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's rainbow mode. So we have a jar of honey, we have some money, some gold maybe, let's call it gold. Pick up. Yeah, I know, I'm very old school, refreshing pages on my own. But I had a live reload plugin with Django, but I had to decide between a good debugger, like a live debugger, where I can jump into the stack frames on the web page. There's an exception or some. And that versus the live reload. And I chose former. Are you a developer too? Pick up. That works. Just doesn't look that good still. I mean, it's very early, but so what kind of navigation elements do we have? The current page is maybe field, maybe, or map. Maybe I call it map. This is character, this is settings. And I don't need to disable anything. Maybe like this. I'm not a web developer. I mean, I suck at CSS, but I absolutely love TypeScript, Python, and Ruby. They just use shift arrow combination. Lol, too bad I can't use that on Vim. Tried it before, but my emulator, so I cannot leave them. Shift arrow. What do you mean with shift arrow? What is shift arrow doing? So you're in Windows. Are you using Cygwin? Yeah, I had a hard time on Windows using Vim too. I had to do that at some point. Yeah, I use TypeScript too sometimes. Now Python and Ruby I actually have only in 1 gig on a Rails project. Without the mouse, yeah, that is visual mode. I mean, if you're using Vim, you will know. Like this whole thing is internal. Like I cannot use my mouse here. It's Emacs, but in terminal mode, essentially. So here I'll have a little bit of margin top, margin Y actually. And I don't need the border anymore because it's looks better without. Here I already have a border from the list group. It actually starts to look better without any borders. Just need to make sure there is no wrapping happening. Actually, it can. It's not the worst thing in the world. Is there another way to show that a nav item is clickable? I think that works. So this is the main screen. Actually, it is not the main screen. It is the map screen. Map. And I need to change the URL here to map. So I need probably two, oh, I need the inventory as well. So it's not just character, it's also inventory. 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 The thing is, internal, I can use shift arrow combination, but when it doesn't work instead. It's control arrow. No, I cannot use shift arrow. Like, this is what's happening if I use shift arrow. Control arrow is, yeah, actually, I mean, I have now control, wait, yeah, control up and down I overrode with a Z-shell plugin. No, it's actually my terminal emulator, so it's URXVT. But control left, no, actually, yeah, control left and right doesn't do anything either. So I'm using just V for visual, for what is it? Selection mode, right? I don't even know how it's called. So it's not character, it's inventory. And I want the chat to be there always because there's important stuff happening, there's information coming in, and is this actually the minimap? I don't like the minimap. I need to tell the minimap to be a bit smaller, max 30%. Okay, right now it seems to work. I think I'm gonna do an overflow hide. Is that what I need? Overflow hidden. I think that's it. Yeah, that looks much better. It's just gonna overflow, and I need to make sure that there's enough and the whole thing is centered. I have some space for an image for the NPC and for the item. Alright, so this is the map. Create initial mockup for the map screen. I can probably extract a template as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna actually create this main app template. But Thanos, by the way, I just had to use Vim the other day because I had to edit a 200 lines of JSON, and Emacs was just too slow to handle that. So I just went ahead and I used Vim for a sec. Actually, I'm gonna do another before I do a base one. I'm gonna do another screen inventory HTML. Because then, if I do something for the third time, I can see patterns, and then I know what to abstract. So this would have been maybe premature abstraction. I don't know what is reusable, what should be reusable, and so on. So I'm gonna just create an inventory HTML. I'm gonna called inventory here. And it's not pages anymore, it is main. And main. Emacs couldn't handle 200 lines. No, 200,000 lines of JSON, sorry. 200,000 lines of JSON. Imagine 200. I think that's where I draw the line for my editor. If it cannot handle 200 lines of anything, then... So, inventory, 200,000 lines. Yes, it was an export of all data, like a dump, essentially, of another project of mine. And I had to adjust a few things. Inventory. What was the data you were storing? So it's a Django app, and you can dump all the data, also in YAML, I think, but I prefer JSON for editing. YAML has a few weird things that I'm like not a huge fan of. To the north, you see. And I think it's pretty standard to just use JSON for that. Like, I didn't even consider YAML. Inventory. We don't really have a description here. So now we have a list of things in our inventory. Now the question is, it's probably going to be one row. So I don't need these. I don't need inventory. Maybe just like that. Hey Nunji, welcome back. Jason has a lot of curly braces. Yes, I agree. But it's not indentation sensitive. I mean, pros and cons, I suppose. I just remember some weird thing about NO, like no, in YAML. Something about Norway and no being a... Let me quickly look it up. Yeah, so there's a YAML key no, which evaluates to false. And if you ever have to use no for Norway, and you're gonna do some truthy check on it, then that's gonna be, it's gonna bite you. No YAML. So a website dedicated to hating YAML. I mean, I'm using it for CI stuff and yeah, mostly for CI actually. That's the most YAML I write. So we have inventory things. Eat the jar of honey. Gold is not really, it's not really in the inventory. It should be like a separate thing for sure. I remember you mentioned something regarding seed fundraising before. How do you find investors? Yes, that is what we're doing now with the startup. There's different kinds of investors. It really depends on what kind of investors you want. So for us, the main difference was to decide whether to go for a portfolio investor who will invest in you to get a return of investment. I mean, all the investors do, but mostly just that. You get the cash, and then they want some more cash in the future. But also there's some strategic investors that are providing you some other resources than cash. And the former could be any VC, really, like any venture capital firm, accelerator, and the latter would be probably a big competitor or like a big player in the market doing something similar, but not exactly the same thing you want to do. And then there's also maybe angels, friends and family, you know. There's probably like this dimension here where you have purely portfolio investors, VCs, and so on. And then on the other side, you have, you know, your family giving you a little bit of cash if you have that in your, you know, in your family. And then there's everything in between. And obviously the incentives are different if it's from friends and family. Fan rate, big fan, happy to be here. Right now, I guess Wackenmer is one of the finest. Phil Marble is raiding with a party of one. Funny bones. It's just you in the raid, so raid hard. Go ahead. Thank you, baby. Funny bones is raiding hard. Yeah, Y Combinator is definitely the biggest, I suppose, in terms of track record, like IPOs and evaluations. And Nunchi, like, there's, I want to know what you guys were talking about. Ah, hey, Till Marple, how are you doing? When's food ready? And when are we gonna chop our salad? Because Jesus Christ, that salad chopping is like 2-hour thing, and it needs to be exactly 3 millimeters. It cannot be 4 millimeters. Those pieces. Where's still Marco? Raiding hard sounds wrong. No mango salad for you. It's actually the mango salad is the good one. That's like, you know, how's it called? Return invest kind of ratio is there. You know, it's kind of hard to make, but it's yummy. But like, I mean, don't get me wrong, the Easter salad is also super yummy, but the amount of work that you need to put into chopping is just, it's inhumane. Like, oh. So I kind of booked 2 hours today already for that in my head. Mango salad is for tomorrow. Wait. Return of investment, exactly. So are you saying mango salad is for tomorrow, but we still have to chop the Easter salad today? Wow. Sometimes there's just days like this. So inventory, we have 60% max. Navigation still here. In fact, height should be 60%, not only max. Like it should be just boom, yeah. Exactamundo, double grounded. Yes. Something like that should be the inventory, I think. Maybe I can squeeze in another character thingy here. I do need the character screen. Maybe that can be the gold part. Maybe I can use some card component. Cards always work. To create some hierarchy. Maybe I can even put the whole thing into a card, and then we have some card body. Card body. Well, that doesn't look good. I'm overdoing it. It's like too much. It's too much already. Rating going to scam quickly, making him to walk to the shop with me later on. Oh my god. So it's still has to work. That's beyond helpless. No music? No, no music. I'm gonna VOD this later on. I'm not helpless. I just I resigned. Like I gave up. My Saturday has been kind of decided. Helpless would be if I actually still had a little bit of hope inside me for things to get better. But that help is gone. My voice is the music. So how should I make the gold? It needs to be on the bottom of the thing. Position. How am I fired? I wish I was fired. Like, Till Marple, I wish you fired me for salad chopping. Position absolute, position relative. Oh my god. This is like desperation in development as well now. I'm looking at position absolute. Gentle therapist, so the mango salad was the final straw. Don't worry, mango salad is not real, it cannot hurt you. There it is. Oh, I should use like a pill to show the amount of gold, and it should be visible at all times. It's not even mango salad. Mango salad is actually the thing I'm alright with. It's the Easter salad. Do you guys know? So, okay, let me give you a visualization of how it feels to have to chop the Easter salad. You know the mentors in Harry Potter. That's how it feels like when you learn that you need to chop Easter salad. It's like it sucks all the life, the energy, the will to live out of you, and you just get cold, like physically. Yeah, but I don't even get to eat mango salad today. So I don't understand. Gold. I have the main screen as well here. No, it's not the main anymore, it's called map. No, it's not even map. What is it? It's supposed to be map. Yeah. Template doesn't exist. Oh yeah, I need to move it. I need to move it. Game, template, pages, map, main. I'm gonna add a new chat. And it's in main. It's gonna be Hill Marple. Time to make Easter salad. Get your cheesy schnitzel instead. All part of them. Alright. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. That's the sad part of your outlook today. The great metaphor of life. You can't have both mango and schnitzel in life. Yes, Nunchi, you're right. No mango salad today. Yeah, but I get the schnitzel, cheesy schnitzel. Or is that another one of your traps? Till Marple. Don't give me hope, please. Alright, so we have map, we have inventory here. You know what, guys? I'm gonna add mango salad as an inventory, as an item here. I need to draw it, but I'm gonna put a placeholder so I don't forget. And if you eat mango salad, it's gonna be yummy, but you lose 1 health. No, I'm joking. It needs to be somewhat useful. And Easter salad, it's gonna be like plus 100 health, but it's the most difficult item to create. Like, it's a true grind to create an Easter salad. So I will need mango trees, I will need pigs I have already, I think, for the ham. Easter salad. That's gonna be literally like 8 hours in-game time of chopping. No, she wouldn't do that. She would not eat mango salad. Alright guys, come on. I need a way how to indicate the amount of gold. Let's just make this whole thing position relative. And then I'm gonna make this position absolute. And bottom 0, something like that. And yeah, bottom 0. And there's our gold. It actually looks alright. Just a kind of border. But does it make sense? That's the question. That is the question. And I want it to overflow, but only the top part. No, it should be on the top. Never mind. Because you probably, most of the time, you're interested in how much gold you have. For reference, Easter salad. That looks yummy, no? It is yummy. It really is yummy. No, that is a lie. No one believe what you look. No. This is a joke to cut. This would take like 10 minutes max to create it like this. Imagine one of those pieces here, and you need to cut it like 20 times, and it needs to be exactly that size. That is the pain you need to go through. Like, this is peanuts here. Like, yeah, can we do it according to this recipe this year? Till Marple, please? I mean, It's probably even yummier if it's smaller because you have more surface to kind of while you're chewing, right? So there's more taste. Bye bye, Funny Bones. Have a nice one. Yeah, it does look yummy. It does look yummy. No, as in we cannot do this easier recipe, or what does it mean? Thank you, Funny Bones. Will do. Eventually I will. There's also going to be some enjoyment in it, I hope. Where's the gold? The gold is... Where's our Abrama gold? It looks yummy now. That's exactly how I also read it. That is how I also read it. There's some badge with a pill. Yeah, I think that's what I need. Gold, gold, gold. Maybe these greens should be in a card. I think they should be, actually. So this whole thing could be in a... No, not this one. This one. Card. Card. Body. At least she doesn't force me to go to the supermarket with her. Because she was already. Card. Oh yeah, that's a style. Needs to be a class. With a tiny bit of margin top. Just so we see the border. It's a small shop trip to Cola Store. What if Cola Store is closed? What are we doing then? Do we have a plan B? Did you have the second one already? No, no, no. That was yesterday. Smart. Did you just say smart? No, 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 no. We're not going to smart. We are so not going to smart. Alright, so we have that stuff in a card. Then we need some proper spacing. Maybe a horizontal line even. Ooh, I could just use a card title like this and the subtitle. I think that could look really nice. Say Lake Town. It's in the meadows. It's really wasteful in terms of space. Carlink. Where is this? Oh, yeah, that's what I need. I need a list group in the card. I already have... That's a problem, I have rows. So how does it look if I get rid of this? It's not connecting to the border. Why not? I am inside a card, but not in a card body. That could work. What if there's a lot of things? I think that could work. Let's just add this here for now. We have card body. And now my HTML is all messed up. I need to You want to learn Redis. I'm gonna use Redis actually for the main transient data store, because this game is gonna have ticks. It's gonna be tick based. There's gonna be 1 tick a second, I think. So everything happens with a resolution of a second, and I don't want to query a SQL database for that. So I'm gonna store probably all the monsters, NPCs in Redis, and I'm gonna use Redis salary as a worker, like task worker, a queue implementation, which is also using Redis, and the caching layer also uses Redis. So it's gonna be actually a main part of this whole architecture. Yeah, maybe I don't have to separate NPCs and items. Maybe it makes sense like this. Does that look weird? Maybe if I do a card header. This game is very reminiscent of Stardew Valley. Guess what I'm playing right now with my brother. It's I would say it's a mix between Stardew Valley, RuneScape, and DnD. Stardew Valley for the content, RuneScape for the incremental aspect of the game. As in, you know, you invest and you get better. Actually, that's the same is true for Stardew Valley. So maybe it's just Stardew Valley and DnD. It's such a great game. It's created by one guy. That's amazing. think that doesn't look too bad. And it's using the right semantics. Mm-hmm. Have you played Stardew Valley? I think we're about to finish our first winter, and I was always the one taking care of our harvesting and gardening, and the whole winter I didn't have anything to do. I was so bored. You always only watched it but never played it. Speaking of game devs, there's a streamer John Blow who made millions as an indie dev. Wow, that's I think that's the 1 in a million who actually makes it. So he's streaming on Twitch and he made a game and he made millions on it. What game was he involved in? Browser games, exactly. And the old ones, even. When the whole web was only PHP, HTML, and I think Ajax was just like the new thing. Remember, guys, when you could type things into Google and Google would auto-suggest what you should search for? That was mind-blowing. I think this is a game that comes from the time before that. Braid and The Witness. The Witness, I know, it's like a... Isn't it a puzzle kind of game? Like a beautiful one. Oh, I love the art style. It's so nice. And Braid. It's also a very unique art style. Did he like... Yeah, obviously he drew everything separately. Cool. Huge respect to indie devs who actually finish their games. Oh my, making games seems like a hard business. Yeah, I think, so I actually initially wanted to be a game dev. I remember I was about to, so you could study game development in Zurich in art school. So it's not a STEM school, but arts. And I was about to send in my application, and then I created a Reddit thread where I was asking like, guys, what do you think about starting a career in game dev? I think it was in our game dev. And everyone was like, no, don't do that. Do something else. Become a programmer and do game dev as a hobby. It's gonna be much easier. And that's what I did. Except for now I don't have that much time anymore to do game dev. I think it's a very hard industry from what I've heard. You finished the whole home workout watching my stream, energy. How can you work out while watching my stream? How can you even get into the right headspace to work out? I mean, good for you, man. He was a game dev for ages in the corporate world before becoming indie. Yeah, so he was also grinding in a corporate job. Also, I'm not sure, you know, what to think of making your passion, your hobby, your main source of income. Because as soon as there is like this commercial aspect to something, it becomes different. I'm not saying it becomes bad, but yeah, doing something as a hobby and doing something with the expectation to cover your bills, I think it's a different story. Well, I want to learn so I can do some cool stuff, nothing crazy. I'm ethical, Jack. Well, why that? It's a good thing, Alanzi. Ethical hacker. Yeah, definitely start with the fundamentals. I mean, get used to Kali, play a bit with the tools. I'm happy with the field for now. I'm not sure, I should maybe separate the NPCs and the items. It's harder, it's easier to scan. But I don't want to waste the space, because who knows, like a screen could look like that. Like Pixel 5 is, yeah, this is all the space I have. And imagine an NPC that you can trade with, talk to, and do something else, then you're already here, like using up all the space. So let's not. I like making projects. Yeah, they're pretty impossible to monetize, exactly. It's more also where my skills are. Like, for me, it's almost effortless to just, you know, the actual craft of building websites, while, you know, using doing a real-time game, a proper game would require me to learn, you know, about the game loop, about collision detection, all these things. So I kind of want to kind of build a game with web technologies. That's like my main goal here. And I don't expect to monetize this ever. I think for that I have other projects. Or should I use terminal? I mean, if you want to become a hacker, I think you should get used to the terminal. Alright, I'm staring at this way too long already. I need to make this screen similar. So, remember, I'm in prototyping phase. It's completely fine if things are not perfect. I need to tell that to myself, because the inner engineer is taking over sometimes, and I just go into implementation details and prematurely optimizing things and stuff like that, and I actually don't finish stuff. So I just need to constantly remind myself, I'm prototyping. It's okay if not everything is super extendable and maintainable. It's just how it is. It's all the AdSense. Premature anything is never good. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I also picked kind of boring technology that I don't feel strongly about, by the way. Like, there is programming languages that I would much rather use, but then I would get lost in prematurely optimizing everything, making everything beautiful and maintainable and fast and all these things. And right now I started with an HTML. I dropped in Bootstrap, and it feels really good. Border. Why do I have a border here somewhere? So inventory. There is something weird with this guy with gold, because so I just need to somehow show that there is enough gold. I don't know how yet. I feel like I should maybe show that always with some kind of badge. Maybe like this. Decisions for later. Okay. Obviously, inventory is active here. Page. And the chat is still here, because it's not only a chat, it's also the world around you, the environment, doing things. That works. I don't want to show the... Should I show the scroll bar? I need to check how it looks on mobile. I don't want to show this scroll bar for sure, so I'm gonna hide that at some point. But I never want to want to wrap this navigation. Do you think the advance in web technology is shrinking the need for mobile apps? I mean, I think Apple and Google are doing a great job making sure that there's always a need for mobile apps. No, I don't think so, to be honest. I think the need for desktop environments is going away long term. And the browser is becoming your OS. So Chromebook-like thingy. Everything is going to be targeting WebAssembly. And it doesn't matter really what kind of programming language you choose in terms of deployment. I think that's my hope. But I mean, looking at the user experience, mobile app versus even some kind of, you know, React Native app, it's not going anywhere. Unless EU comes in and says, or like, you know, a big regulatory body is going to come in and force Apple and Google to open the browser API. I think that's one way how it could work. But I mean, Apple has been pretty good tightening their browser API. So we have inventory, we have a map, maybe character screen. Maybe I could just have gold like that. Doesn't need to be anything fancy. Can be just be. It could even be in the header. Why not just put it as a subtitle? Two, 4, 5. Very text-based, but that's the goal, I think. Great. Oh. Great initial mockup for inventory screen. Is it time to create a base template already? I think it is. Might be. Because character screen will look similarly. It will also be like 2/3 of the screen character. So, you know, wearing stuff, some stats, chat down here. So it's going to be probably 2/3, 1/3 kind of layout. Except for the map. There we kind of split this 1/3 into 2/3 into 1/3 and 1/3. Biggest challenge for me right now is the payment API. Apple rarely allows payment methods other than Apple's own payment. I got rejected so many times for trying to deploy crypto apps. Although I did manage to deploy a few in the end. Ah, interesting. So Apple is rejecting apps that provide payment through crypto. Is that what you're saying? I mean, there's this whole Epic versus Apple thingy going on still. Is there any, like, is this already decided there? I'm really curious whether that 30% is gonna be here in a few years. So let's take the inventory 1 as the base template. And let's say it's the content main, which is like a sub-template of the base template. And I'm gonna extend from main base, which is the file on the right. And it's a really important ruling, right? Like that could really set a precedence case for ecosystems in general, not just App Store and Google Play Store, but everything, all the walled gardens. Think what they have in common. So all the templates, what do they have in common? They have a title, a subtitle, a description. They have this content here. And they have obviously this content down here. So the chat is the chat. As always, chat is the chat. Then we have, how should I call it? Main title. It's actually a block. Main title. Subtitle. And block. Main subtitle.